everybody. Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. And let's get ready to jump into the show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. My man Talent is in the building. Let me see if I can get him in there. Okay, you in there? Okay, there you go.
I see you.
Yeah, my thing is sticking. I got to figure out why my computer keeps sticking. We'll get to that part in a second. Great to see you, T. How's everything?
Listen, man, it's been a wonderful 24 hours, brother. Shout out to the Shriners organization. Man, I didn't know. I got a little knowledge yesterday, man. The Shriner thing bigger than I ever thought. These brothers got about 1,000 temples across the country in 47 states and about 28 countries.
Wow.
That's a big organization, man.
Yeah, I know they were that big.
That's a man, I'm like, wow. When I seen that convention center in St. Louis yesterday, I said, wow. Shout out to Melanie Camacho, booked her on it. She tore it down. The Yoshi, the band, the ex-band out of Orlando, Florida, they tore it down. Then I closed the whole night out, and we just got the hell out of there. 3 hours sleep on the plane. Just walked in my door, literally. Stopped to get some dog food, walked in here. These dudes, they ate. They're like niggas. They eat. They got the itis. They got niggeritis. They got niggeritis.
My man Fig is in the building too. Fig, how you doing?
Listen, man. Talent has been working way too hard. I can't believe that he let Frank get away with talking about the keys on his computer was sticking, and he couldn't figure out why.
Hold on, what you trying to say, Fig, man?
Yeah, what you trying to say, Fig?
What you trying to say, Fig? He don't know what. It was a legit complaint. My keys are sticking. I don't know why.
Mike Sean's in the building too. What's up, Mike?
What up? Yeah, Fig. I didn't understand that. Like I didn't understand how hot Pornhub was popping in the Frank household.
I walked into that.
Talent talking about organizations and all over the country. I'm like, yeah, I already knew them. I knew them. But I didn't know.
I didn't know about the keyboard.
I didn't know the keyboard was sticking. Like, dog, I'm not the most like morally, I'm not the most like high level person. But my keyboard has never stuck. Never.
I walked into that. I literally walked right into that.
But here's the thing, Frank. Everybody know you get a separate computer for box seats from.
Yeah.
We call it extracurricular computer.
I literally walked into that.
Like, I swear to goodness, my iPhone is DJ Sticky Fingers right now. But my laptop is not. Look, I just pressed the button. You know what it didn't do? It did not stick. I just pressed the button on my laptop. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, wow.
Like I said, I walked into that.
That is so funny. Hey, Mike, FYI, I took care of your girl yesterday. She was all good.
Oh, and that sounds crazy the way you said it, but thank you.
It sure does, boy. I'm like, oh.
No, but thank you.
Mike, don't worry. The computer didn't stick or nothing, Mike.
She was so excited. She says, I'm going to see Talent. I'm like, you do the morning show with me every morning, D-word. Like, what are you so excited? Like, I know. He said, I'm gonna see Talent. And then she's coming to the show at Caroline's August 23rd. She's like, I'm going to see Talent again. I'm
nice. Like, I can't wait. No, we had a good time.
But I love her. She's really like a sister to me in real life. In real life, there's no other angles to it. Like she's somebody who really, she is.
Yeah. For the rest of us who's sitting here, in this conversation, it'd be great if we knew what y'all was talking about.
Okay, well, Frank, give us a minute.
Remember he was on here when Mike said, when I announced I was going to be, he said, "Oh, my people's in the morning show want to go to St. Louis. Can you leave 2 tickets?" He did that on the show, right?
Yeah,
I remember.
So
this explains why your keyboard be sticking, right?
Yeah,
here's what we got to do. Listen. We got to get Frank some Pepperidge Farm because Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't remember. What? That's two. That's two, Fig. One more. I'm gonna set him up. I'm just letting you know. I got some jokes. I got them on time.
All right. Come on, let's get to sports. Go ahead. Deion Sanders is the greatest of all time. Let's go.
So the first thing is that while I was gone for, we took a day off. Between the day off and today, I don't know if you guys got the news, but Fernando Tatis was suspended 80 games by Major League Baseball for testing positive for clostebol, a performance-enhancing substance. So, Talent, Fernando's dad came out and said for 80 games, he said, I can understand if you wanted to suspend him for 30 games, 25 games, but first of all, Fernando Tatis did not play at all this year for a wrist injury. He already hasn't played all year. You spend him from 80 games. Now he goes into the rest of the year, into some of next year. But his dad is upset because Fernando Tatis would have been in the lineup with Juan Soto, who's the San Diego Padres just traded for. And, of course, you got Manny Machado. They would have had the death row lineup. They would have had the most potent lineup ever before seen in Major League Baseball, because these guys have, a triplet. These guys are hitting some of the best. So his dad is saying, you guys are ruining for baseball. Everybody's expecting them to see for baseball. Everybody's looking forward to it, and you ruined it. You agree, disagree?
I mean, you got a little case there, a little point. My thing is, I'm always thinking of how you could like cheat the system a little bit. Like, I don't like to cheat the system where people get hurt, but like little systems. Like, if you suspend me and I'm already out injured, can I use those injured games? You know what I mean? Think about that. Like, say I'm out injured for 20 games, you suspend me for 30, it should be those 20 should count because I act like I'm gonna play, but I'm injured. And then I just owe you 10 games after that. I mean, that's the way I would look at it. But he has a point because, like you said, they hidden, they got a good squad, and the timing is crazy. Because we right around the corner from coming into October time and all that. It's crazy, but he got a case, but I understand both sides.
Yeah, but Fig, at the end of the day, Major League Baseball needed some excitement. They would have had death row. They would have had the insane lineup, and these dudes are all Latin dudes. That's what I like about it. They would have been the Latin potent guy. I don't know. What you think, Fig?
The Three Amigos. That's who they would have been.
Yeah. That sounded so prejudiced.
Yo, man, but you know what? Listen, I would venture to say that Major League Baseball, if it doesn't make some changes, they might end up being like obsolete, man. You know what I mean? That's the way it is to me, because the most exciting year of baseball to me is when oh my God, man. Frank, you know better than me. You the baseball aficionado.
Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa.
Thank you. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa had the home run hitting competition, and they both was on steroids. I don't care what nobody say. There's no way these dudes wasn't on steroids, and that was the most exciting year of baseball. The thing about baseball is it's a non-contact sport. Nobody gets hit, nobody gets punched, or anything like that. And performance-enhancing drugs will not help you hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It just makes the game exciting. So let them use it. Like, let them do something. You can't flip the bat. You can't kick dirt on the mound. You can't do this. The pitcher can't act like he's gonna pitch and then change his mind. That's a ball. Like, the rules in baseball are so boring. Like, can we make the game a little bit more exciting? Can you pump something in there to make the game a little more exciting without penalizing everybody? It's ridiculous.
The business bully has joined the conversation. How you doing, sir?
Absolutely awesome, Frank. How are you?
All right. We're gonna come to you in a second. My man, Mike Sean. The thing is, like I said, these dudes would have had the death row lineup. I think San Diego Padres would have been really dope to watch, just like that and everything else. So I guess the question to you is, man, does it hurt baseball? What's your thoughts, Mike?
Of course, it hurts baseball because baseball is a hypocrisy that is like so unlimited. It doesn't make any sense. Now, the Padres had the death lineup, but the Dodgers still beat their asses when they went out there with that death lineup. But Tatis wasn't playing at the time, but they still beat them up. The fact that you're still testing for steroids is hilarious because steroids saved you. Steroids saved Major League Baseball. And the only reason Barry Bonds did steroids because he was so pissed that I am a 5-tool player. And the rest of y'all, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, aren't even close to what Barry Bonds was in his peak. And he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take steroids after y'all take steroids and show you what I'm going to do. Like, literally, if Barry Bonds would have been pitched to, Barry Bonds broke the record for walks. If he had been pitched to, he could have got close to 100 home runs. He was a video game. So the fact that they're complaining about this, I'm laughing because at this point, Fig said it better than anybody could possibly say it. We really like it when everybody's on steroids.
Yeah,
we like it. The stadiums are full. Everybody's sitting there, and all of a sudden, guys like us are paying attention to the Sammy Sosas and Mark McGwires and everything like that. Now, if you're going to start testing, then what I want you to do is take Bud Selig out the Hall of Fame, who made it into the Hall of Fame when he was the commissioner of baseball, when he knew steroids was being taken. All the general managers, all the players got suspended and taken off the Hall of Fame. There was not one general manager in Washington when they were asking about steroids. And you bastards know every single thing that goes on with those players. That's why you pay them so much money. But not one general manager got called, not one owner got called. So I'm done.
The business bully, the money that would be generated from the San Diego Padres and Major League Baseball if these three dudes was able to play this year in the playoffs, because San Diego's making a run into playoffs in the National League. I can only imagine the turnaround Major League Baseball would make. What's your take on this?
Listen, I don't like to be a parrot on this show, but the facts are the facts. Fig's right, Mike's right. Here's the thing, and people don't understand this. Around 1945, they started to create something because baseball was starting to get a little bit long. It started becoming a little bit boring, and people were falling asleep in the stands. It was called the seventh inning stretch. That's where they get up and start saying, "Take me out to the ball game." There's a reason for that. It's boring, Frank. It's absolutely boring. I would rather watch cockroaches masturbate than watch most of these teams play. Yes. And so when we really think about this, Frank,
you've seen a cockroach masturbate?
Oh, like you haven't. You from the same East Coast I'm from. Mike, you didn't seen it. You didn't turn off the lights and didn't see what happened.
Boy got sick.
Listen.
The cockroaches.
Listen, so what I'm saying to you is the steroids make things exciting because you don't want to sit there for hours on end watching low scoring, low hitting games, right? And shout out to the Fighting Philadelphia Phillies who just scored their 10,000th franchise win. So, yeah, man, I'm a baseball fan, but it's kind of hard, bro. You would rather watch Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods play golf 20 years from now.
Actually, golfing ratings is getting better than baseball. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
We
But you know what, real quick, Frank, if it's not steroids, it's going to be something else that they're going to take to enhance their performance. No pun intended. There's going to be something. There's always something that's going to enhance. Yeah.
Ass. Too much ass. They're going to start banning. Nobody can have sex.
And weak as the legs, talent. And weak as the legs.
160 games. You're going to be, if they catch you boning, suspension.
Yeah, nobody.
He's doing performing enhancing sex.
All right, so T, I want to move on. Let's keep this thing moving on. I want to ask you, man. The NBA came out with actually, I'm gonna double this up because we got to move this thing on. The NBA came out with the scheduling of this upcoming season. They officially said that they're not going to have any regular season games on the election day. I said, all right, cool. But in the same breath, I heard that people are talking about LeBron James and obviously playing an extended year. We said LeBron wants to play literally with his son. Now, I'm bringing this in full circle. Bronny James got one offer this season from one college. People were thinking that he was going to be a shoe-in to make the pros. We're standing right now, and colleges are coming around getting their teams together and everything else. Bronny got one offer from North Carolina State. Do you think Bronny's going to make the pros, T?
Rodney Perry.
It's hard for him to get on the college right now. All right, what's your take?
It's not going to be hard. Let's understand what's going to happen. Bronny got one offer probably legitimately right now, right? His father's LeBron James. That's a phone call or two. A couple of phone calls, all of a sudden, it's going to be about a dozen, 10 to a dozen. You're going to have a pick of the litter from. He going to the league now. Whether he gets a decent career or can sustain it or make a name for himself, that's a whole other conversation. But Dad is playing it real kosher right now until to the ninth inning when he got to make them calls, a couple of them phone calls. He going to the league. I would bet he going to the league.
You're okay. You're a vet that he's going to the league. Fig, let's be honest, Fig. Which NBA team is going to take the risk, the flight risk, to even pay attention to this kid when he obviously hasn't even got to college? He don't have college offers yet. What's your take?
The one that LeBron James says that he'll play for if you draft his son. That's the one. Yeah. Let me tell you this, man. Look, I'm gonna take a page out of Business Bully's book. It's about dollars and cents. You understand what I'm saying? So when LeBron shows up on your team value goes through the roof. Everybody's coming to the stands. Everybody's your arena is going to be full. Your concession stands, the businesses around your arena. Like LeBron James is almost like a human stimulus package. So whenever he decides to show up on your team, if your team says, "Well, we'll draft Bronny," and LeBron James wants to play with him, that's the team. It's like whatever team could use an injection of financial stimulus, that will be the team that drafts Bronny James. It's economics. I don't care whether he plays or not. It's just like the Giannis brothers. You know what I mean? None of them dudes can play. But the fact that Giannis is on the team, they drafted his brothers. They don't even get in the game. But his brothers are on the team just to make him happy.
Okay. All right. So at the end of the day, Mike, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you think there's going to be an NBA team that's going to take a flyer to even chance to get – because he's having a hard time even making it on college right now because he's only got one college offer. What you think?
He's not making it on college teams because he's already rich, so they can't pimp him. Like, he has the leverage. He's like, you need me coming to your campus more than I need you. Like, you see my dad. You know who I am. The funny thing is that his younger brother is really the baller.
Right.
His younger brother is really the problem. But yeah, if he wanted to go to college, if he wanted to go to college and North Carolina State is smart, look, Duke doesn't want the problem because Duke can't tell Bronny James what to do when he comes on campus. They can't be like, we'll take your scholarship away. So what? Like my dad's a billionaire. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there's nothing they can dictate to this young black man at any time when he goes on a campus. And it's something they've never seen before. They've never seen a athlete come on there. And I'm not saying Bronny's even going to be that good. I'm just saying Bronny has the power of saying, I don't care what you think or say. That's why college campuses are scared, because I can't make you run extra suicides if you don't want to run extra suicides. So I think LeBron has made it a fact that this kid's going to probably go directly to the NBA, and I'm going to play with Cleveland. He's going to play 2 more years with the Lakers. Then he's going to go back to Cleveland. He's going to bring Bronny James over there to Cleveland because Cleveland will do anything for LeBron, and he'll end his career with Bronny and LeBron being on the same team.
Yeah, Cleveland. But nobody said the one thing I thought everybody was going to say. I don't even think he's good enough yet to even be in college yet. You know, I mean, to play on a D1 level. That's what I think. I mean, maybe I'm over speaking.
Well, I mean, not to be funny, but frankly, no, that's not the issue here. It doesn't matter if he's good or not, right? It's the name, bro. Like, this is LeBron's league. Say whatever you want. LeBron is keeping the lights on. But 2 people in this league keeping the lights on: Steph Curry and LeBron James, and that's a wide chasm, point blank and period. LeBron James is the guy. So whatever he says goes. The other part of that is when you get Bronny, not only do you get LeBron James the player, but you also get LeBron James the coach, and you have somebody who's going to make sure that kid is elevated. You got somebody that's going to put butts in seats. Season ticket prices just double. It don't matter if the Toronto Raptors draft this kid. Toronto Raptors are going to be the highest, have the highest selling merch. They're going to have the highest selling season tickets. It's a money thing. So it really doesn't matter. The other part of that is most colleges have enough sense to realize why in the world will we even offer Bronny James something when we know he's only going to be here 5 minutes, if that. There's no point to even try to build a team around it. He's not going to college.
Now, if Bronny is serious about making the NBA, then he will stay in a college for a year. If he's serious. But if he's following his dad's program, which is you got to get here before I retire, because I think y'all know I'm the biggest LeBron James fan on these squares right now, other than Rodney Perry. But if he doesn't go, if he goes straight to the NBA, he's gonna fail. Number one, and he's doing this because his dad has a plan. It's not Bronny's plan. If Bronny were to go to Syracuse hypothetically and stay there for 2 years, you know that's him trying to improve himself. But if he skips the process and tries to be his dad, it's gonna be a failure. So I'm a LeBron fan. But the merchandising, like Business Bully said, merchandising is gonna be crazy having a LeBron James jersey and a Bronny James jersey.
Yeah, it's all about money. But let's keep this thing moving on. Let's get ready to talk about the topics. I'm starting the NFL first, man. I saw something Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. I wanted to rock with you with this one and ask all you all this because I didn't even think about this. But Antonio Brown came out and said, yo, Jerry Jones, y'all should call me. I'm out here. The Cowboys need some wide receivers. Y'all don't have no wide receivers. Then I was thinking, like, Antonio Brown shouldn't even get a shot back in the NFL because the last time we saw him, he took his uniform off in a Bucs uniform and ran off the field during a game. Talent. The question to you is, should Antonio Brown get a shot in the NFL? And if the shot comes, should it be with the Dallas Cowboys? What you think, T?
First of all, this dude is really mental. Let me explain something to you. Anytime a player yells stuff out like that, I don't care. That's what your agent is for. That's what your management is for. That's what all those people who get big bucks from you are for. You can't just come out of nowhere and go, hey, Jerry Jones, call me. Bro, do you understand how absurd? I couldn't even help but laugh because you just can't, certain things you just can't do. Like, let me tell you something. We're going to be at Caroline's next week, the 23rd. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been blessed my whole career to know personally Caroline Hirsch herself. But never once when I was in the room with the same room as Caroline go, hey, Caroline, give me a weekend. That's not the place for that. Like, I don't ask her that. She don't talk to me about that. That's what Louis Miranda's for. That's what the office is for. That's what my management, Quincy Morris and Robin Hood Entertainment, that's what they're for. Like, that is so out of protocol and showing where you are mentally. Like, you know how many dudes play football that want to come back in the league or want to make the NFL and own a Twitter account that never go, hey, Jerry Jones, holler at your boy. Like, Jerry Jones, like, yeah, you know what? Let me holler at my boy.
We're not thinking that.
That's the dumbest thing. Like, yo, this guy, man, and even though we laugh, there's a sad component to it because we know what he's capable of. Yeah. Like, we know that he has the skill to play this game at that level. But, man, let me tell you something. I always tell people this. I said it yesterday in the interview. The mind and the body are constantly at odds.
Yeah, but Fig, I must say this. This is crazy. I bet $1,000 the Dallas Cowboys are contemplating getting Antonio Brown. I bet you they're contemplating it since he can't put it out there. Do you think they should?
Listen, here's the thing. Jerry Jones, the one thing on Jerry Jones' bucket list right now, after being a multi-billionaire, is to win another Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys. And if Antonio Brown can help his team win a Super Bowl, then he's probably going to give Antonio Brown a call because that's the one. Those are the pieces. The position that Antonio Brown plays is what the Dallas Cowboy needs to even be relevant. They're missing receivers, and we know as crazy as Antonio Brown seems to be in the public eye, when he's on the field, he's a problem. He's productive. this kid can just straight out ball out. And Jerry Jones, look, and let me just say how bad it can be. Antonio Brown can literally shoot somebody and be on trial for murder. And Jerry Jones would be like, well, can he play the season before he's sentenced?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think off the field antics and on the field antics are two different things when it comes to football heads. You know what I mean?
It really does. It really, but Mike, you spent some time in Dallas for a little while and everything else. Give us the inside look or how Dallas is looking at Antonio Brown. What you think?
Antonio Brown is the Kanye West of football. But the problem is the business that Kanye West in is an artsy, creative business.
Right.
So it's different when you create some stuff and people go like, that's amazing. In football, there's still a protocol of like Jerry Jones will get you out of jail. He will fight for you. He will protect you while you're there.
Right.
But the problem is that Antonio Brown will turn on him. See, you can't trust Antonio Brown. Antonio will turn on you. He will turn on the owner. He will turn on everybody. There is a mental illness perspective on this situation with him.
Yeah.
There's something that it shoots off that he doesn't care who he goes at. Jerry Jones is like, I'm good with that. Des Bryant ain't never going to turn on me. Michael Irvin ain't never going to turn on me. Emmitt Smith ain't never going to turn on me. No matter what happened, they're never going to say anything crazy about me. Antonio Brown will say something crazy about everybody. Everybody in these squares has had a friend that we love this person. I'm not even going to say pause. We love this dude. We just don't know what he's capable of saying when he decides to black out. And all of a sudden, we all in trouble. Everybody's in trouble because so-and-so blacked out again. Jerry Jones don't need that problem right now. He's good. He's like CeeDee Lamb, they got receivers. They just don't have as many receivers as they had before. Antonio Brown has made himself the problem that you don't need.
Yep. But Dave, I'm going to throw this out there too. Nobody's mentioned this either. Antonio Brown could be doing this just to bring attention to him right now because he's got a rap career he wants to get off the ground. He got, he's touring right now with some single. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. But should Antonio Brown be in the NFL? What do you think, Bully?
Listen, if you want to sign up for slavery, I say knock yourself out. But I don't know why we're spending all this time talking about turnaround Tony Brown. Like, we know he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We know he's nuttier than Hooker Spit. God rest James Hanna. I'm trying to understand for the life of me why we're acting as if these folks, like when talent's like, well, sometimes these people just don't have no decorum up in here and they be out here. I'm like, I don't go to Carolina and say, hey, give me a weekend. I'm not mad at that. But the difference between talent and these cattle, I said what I said, is that talent actually has what we call some home training, some etiquette, some discipline. They are there to us. That's why they put X's and O's, Frank. They're not here to be intelligent. It's real binary. They're there to run the routes. That's their job. They don't give them any type of charm school training. The NFL Players Association does nothing to them. The daggone agents don't do anything to collect their 3%. When they're good, they're happy. When they're bad, they let them go and drag them off like what's in the bargain basement of a daggone Filene's basement, Frank. So let's not sit up here and expect any type of decorum, respect, or etiquette from people who are trained monkeys. I said what I said.
All right, there it is.
Hey, Frank, real quick, Antonio Brown, the only thing I'll push back on real quick, because I know you don't like when we veer off script. The only thing I'm going to push back on is that Antonio Brown was never bad. He's the only player that was still damn good that he made his way out of the league. He was still the best receiver on the team. I've never seen that in the history of the NFL.
He's also the best stripper in the history of the NFL because he was taking his clothes off.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, the Fig made a comment. It was like, well, Jerry won the Super Bowl, and if he could help him, but you don't know he can help him. The last team thought he could help him.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, they won too.
The last team thought he could help him. You know what he did? He threw his jersey in the pants and ballowed his ass off the bench.
No. Listen, the last time that Antonio Brown played a full season, he played with Tom Brady, and they won.
Yeah, we're not talking about a full season.
No, they won. They won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did.
They
You remember the exit?
Yeah, the exit that.
It's
Okay,
not how you,
okay. So now,
it's not how
so
you
what
show
are
up,
you
it's how you
talking about,
leave.
kid? What happened after the exit? He came back and did something. The exit is the last damn team we've seen this man.
All right, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Let's
Yo,
keep this
forget
going.
Michael Jordan. That was the last dance. That was the last dance. That was the last dance.
Let's keep this going. My man, Cree, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna do rapid fire real fast because I want to get through these NFL questions, and then because I want to ask that NBA question I threw out to you guys, so I want to make sure we get time to do that. So T, I'm gonna do this rapid fire question. First question to you go. Zach Wilson's right knee, he had surgery on it. Everything else, the Jets say he looked like he's gonna come back for Game 1. I'm gonna ask you, T, should the Jets rush Zach Wilson to play Game 1? Or should they take their time and let him come back Game 2 or 3? What you think, T?
Oh, hell yeah, you rushing back Game 1. First of all, this is New York. Second of all, this is the New York Jets. We just coming back from purgatory. All hands on deck. I heard the Gatorade boy sprain his ankle. Show up, Negro. You limp these Gatorades out there, and you ice that later, but you limp these Gatorades out there for Game 1 and Week 1. Yes, they should, because it was such. Whenever the prognosis comes back, Frank, and it's only 2 to 4 weeks, and those 2 weeks have you at the threshold of Week 1, yeah, why not? You can always play it like a semi-preseason game if you're cautious. You can always go out there first and second quarter. If he plays well, put some numbers up, and then rest him, and then bring in the second string. So it's a strategic way to do it, but I think morale-wise, coming from where we come from, making the moves we made in the offseason, and trying to show New York that we're going to be a contender and we're serious about football again, yeah, show up Week 1. I say yes.
Okay. Fig, Seattle Seahawks QB Drew Lock is going to miss Thursday's start after testing positive for COVID-19. Seattle seems to be up in arms about Drew Lock, obviously testing positive. They're upset about that. Is this anything to be upset about like that because he tested positive? People are saying he needs the reps. Seattle Seahawks say he needs the reps. You think they should be upset about this because it's only a preseason game? What's your take on Drew Lock?
Look, man. So what's the? It's kind of crazy. People get upset about the dumbest thing. So what's the alternative? Come bring him back into the locker room and make the whole damn team sick. Like, well, what are we talking about? He needs the reps. No, we need the rest of the team healthy. How about that? Because not only will he be out, the rest of the 50, 60 guys that's going to make the roster, they might be out too. So you might have to forfeit some games if everybody gets sick. Keep him out until he gets healthy, then let him come back. Listen, what kind of noise is he going to make if he's 100% healthy anyway? It's Seattle. They got rid of everybody.
Yeah. Great point. Good guy. I ain't mad at you, Fig. Great point. Mike Sean. Aaron Rodgers was upset at the last practice because the inconsistency by young receivers. Turns out they had more drops from the young receivers right there than in the last 3 or 4 years since before Devontae Adams came in there. So they were dropping everything left and right. And now everybody in Green Bay is frantic because they seem to be still upset about them getting rid of Devontae Adams. What's your take on this, even though it's just practice? What you think, Mike?
I'm going to try and keep. I don't want to annoy everybody with my squeaky voice. I'm gonna try and keep calm with this. Like I'm gonna try and keep it baritone. And you just got one edit. I'm gonna give you one edit, Frank, just one. to Aaron Rodgers. Bitch, you took all the money. The reason why he left is because you took all the money. You took it all. There's nothing left. So they had to draft a receiver and hope his potential is going to be where it should be. But you have a hell of a nerve to complain about why you don't have receivers. You know why you don't have receivers? Because you took all the goddamn money. You took it all. There's nothing left. We can't pay anybody. We couldn't, back in the day, Google him. We couldn't pay Phil McConkey right now to be on the team because there's
my God,
there's no more money left.
No, you're going to hell.
You have Randall Cobb and a bunch of 18-year-olds and a 50-year-old. That's what you have because you took everything. You took everything. There are no more hot dog buns for the hot dogs at Lambeau Field because you took all the money.
Yo,
So
you like a rapper, yo. You worse than the rappers. You just threw that name out.
Phil Joe McConkey.
The
Yo,
man is somewhere, minding his business, heaven, hell, or earth, and they just throw his name like a rapper.
We
Yeah,
can't
yo,
why not?
Aaron said,
Yeah, we can't afford him.
Aaron said, I ain't seen this many ball drops since New Year's Eve.
So, Dave, my question to you is going to be, it's really simple. The Philadelphia Eagles are also under scrutiny. People are looking at them and saying, you know what, the practices haven't been that great, but they have some high expectations, very, very high expectations. You're in Philly. What's the inside scoop? Talk to me. Tell me about what you think the media, are they fair? Are they, what's going on in Philly? Is it rightful to be upset right now, even though it's preseason?
This is why I think it's very important that Rodney Perry show up for more shows, because like, I'm gonna need y'all to calm down. Philadelphia has a habit of bothering people about practice. Last I checked, practice don't win no games.
Mm-hmm.
To put that another way, one of the greatest basketball players of all time said, "We talking about practice, practice." So yeah, how about no? How about we see what actually happens? They're supposed to be practicing with the Cleveland Browns, which should be interesting. But can we calm down a little bit? Like, let's talk 3 games in, and we might be able to have a semblance of an assessment. But like, you ever practice before you had a date when you and Mrs. Holder were just dating? You ever practice before she came over? You see how that's different, Frank, than the actual? I'm just asking. I'm just saying, it's a little different. It's not the same circumstances.
His keyboard is stuck, and he hasn't been practicing.
Not only that, I got kids to show that I was practicing.
That's a whole different ball game. Yeah, that's different. That's all I'm saying.
The keyboard.
Yeah. I ain't gonna let this keyboard thing down. Thanks a lot, Fig. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, so before we jump into the NBA, man, I'm gonna throw out this. I asked you guys a little bit of homework. I want to see if you all who dived into this bit. So, Talent, you go first. I want you to name your top 4 NBA trades that you wish had never happened. Like, you were sitting there saying, "Oh man, I just wish they hadn't did." Give me 4 of them, the top 4.
Damn.
That you can name off the top of your head, because you know me, I can name like 4. Hell, I can name about 8 right now. But you give me your top 4 that you wish had never ever happened, and you think changed certain teams' trajectory. So just go with your top 4 right now and tell me why.
Well, obviously, I'm a diehard Knicks fan, so these are Knicks trades I wish never would have happened for different reasons. Carmelo, first one, right?
Uh-huh.
The Carmelo trade I wish never happened, not because of him. I love Carmelo, so I love to see him.
Carmelo trade coming to the Knicks, or Carmelo trade leaving the Knicks?
Coming to the Knicks. What I didn't wish it happened was because, to me, I think those years, the man would have had a chip somewhere else by now. I think he would have got a chip somewhere else by now. I think we kind of got in the middle of that for our own personal reasons and ruined the man's, the end of his career, the legacy. So I wish that never happened because of the way it ended up. Mark Jackson. When we got rid of Mark Jackson, I wanted Mark to retire Nick. I wanted him to do his whole career here as a Nick. He was one of the most key pieces we've had in decades. And for him to go to Indiana and then Toronto and all that, you see behind me, that's what's behind me on the poster, is my Mark Jackson poster. So I hated to see that happen. Stevie Francis. I correct myself, not a Nick trade. I didn't hate that. We got him after it was too late. I hated that the league allowed that trade to happen when he refused to show up when he got drafted.
Right.
And forced the hand of the team to trade him because he said he's not going to show up. I think when the league buckled right there, they set a precedent. From that point on, the players were going to do what they're going to do anyway, because that right there was asinine to me. And the number one worst trade I wish never happened is when it was a 2-parter, because the Knicks tried to trade in the 4-team trade. They tried to get rid of Ewan in the middle of the night, in the wee hours of the evening. And it fell through about 1 a.m. It hit ESPN. A friend of Ewan's watching ESPN, tell him to turn on the TV. And he learns that way that they were trying to get rid of him in a 14 trade that fell apart. So then he demanded to get the hell out of New York and ended up in a nasty-ass green Seattle Supersonic jersey.
Okay, so those are good 4. Those are good 4. Fig, give me your 4 NBA trades and that you wished had never happened. And I want to see if they all gonna be Nick trades too. Let's see what happens.
It's tough being on here with a Knicks fan. I'm gonna tell you that right now, man, because he took 2 of mine. So, but I'm gonna go back to 1. I hated the Ewing thing. I think Ewing should have retired. Nick. Anyway, I'm gonna do Shaq to LA. And I'm gonna tell you why. I would have loved to have seen what Shaq and Orlando could have did with Penny Hardaway and all them boys and stuff like that. I think Shaq and them boys would have been able to get one in Orlando. Number 2, Kobe, when he was first drafted. That trade was ridiculous, man. I think he was supposed to be an NC. I would have loved to see what NC could have became with a team like Kobe, with a player the caliber of Kobe Bryant. What would we be looking at Carolina had Kobe Bryant been drafted there and stayed instead of making that trade to LA? This last one was major. This last one, Rudy Gobert to Minnesota. I think that was crazy. I never seen a player with less production get more for this type of player, for the caliber player Rudy Gobert. I've never seen. What was it like? It was an incredible amount of draft picks and players. It was ridiculous. I hated that trade. And last but not least, for a different reason, Melo to New York, because New York was swindled. They gave up. Not that Melo wasn't a superstar player, but they gave up so much for him that he just didn't have enough to play with, and it pretty much ruined the Knicks for a lot of years, and it ruined Melo's career because he didn't have nobody to run with.
Okay, Mike Sean, what's your 4 NBA trades that you wish never happened?
All right, to edit because they took some of mine. All right, number 1, because we're all Knicks fans except Business Bully. Stephon Marbury, I don't know if he got traded, but wound up leaving Minnesota and he came to the East Coast. You knew when Stephon Marbury came to the East Coast, it was going to be a problem. You know that sometimes you can't go home and you shouldn't go home. And most of the times when we bring people back to New York, it doesn't work out because there's too much affiliation at home that goes on. And you got too many responsibilities that have nothing to do. Another trade. The Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade to the Brooklyn Nets should have never have happened. By the way, on top of that, the New Jersey Nets trading the Nets to Brooklyn for the Brooklyn Nets should have never have happened. Brooklyn got robbed on that trade. Norm Nixon. Norm Nixon might be the most tragic story in the history of the NBA. He played for a championship team, the Los Angeles Lakers. He got traded to the Clippers, to the LA Clippers, or they might have been the San Diego Clippers at the time, which meant in his house, he was no longer the big dog because Debbie Allen was doing Fame. So in your own home, you were no longer the hottest person in the house.
Wow.
And anywhere Muggsy Bogues got traded to, like what? Anywhere Muggsy Bogues, because he was shorter than me, and it was disrespectful to trade Muggsy Bogues because he gave his heart and soul. So wherever Muggsy Bogues got traded, that was bad. That was bad.
Hey, honorable mention, Joel Embiid from the Jamaican bobsleigh team to the Philadelphia 76ers.
He's African. He's not Jamaican.
That's why I don't like that trade.
All right, Dave, give me your 4. Who are your 4 NBA trades you wish never had happened?
I am a Philadelphia fan, but my first trade that I had an issue with was I would have liked to have seen a Seattle Supersonics team with Scottie Pippen, like long term. I think that would have been dope, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? That's one. Number 2, historically speaking, Wilt Chamberlain to the Lakers. Yeah, not really a big fan of that. Number 3, Charles Barkley to the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah,
where he took them to the championship the next flipping year. They ain't win, thank God to Jordan. And finally, Chauncey Billups for Allen Iverson. Seriously? Really? That was the wrong answer.
Right.
Well, that was the only trade that I was going to mention. I don't think anybody said it was going to be Chauncey Billups. My Chauncey Billups was when the Celtics under Rick Pitino traded Chauncey Billups to Detroit and messed up the Celtics for years to come. That was the only trade that I had that you all didn't mention. So that was one of
everybody. Rajon Rondo got traded too.
Well, we can sit here. We can sit here and name about 20 Boston joints off the top.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even go through that. But that one,
Frank, real quick, I almost forgot. This one is important and it's dishonorable mention. 55 76ers players for James Harden, even though we were able to get rid of that light-skinned person who should not be named.
Yeah, lucky.
That's funny you brought him up because that was going to be my next topic. My next topic literally is going to be about Ben Simmons. So I'm going to ask all you guys this one right now. I don't know if you guys heard the word, but the Brooklyn Nets have leaked out the word to Rick Bucher of the ESPN saying that they're planning on, or at least they're having conversations about Ben Simmons playing center this year. Ben Simmons to play center. Talk to me, Ben. What do you think? You think Ben Simmons should play center for Brooklyn if KD stays? What you think?
How many teams is in the league?
32.
32. So there you go. That last number 2. I think that's how many light-skinned centers are playing right now. 2. Now, first of all, there's no place for a light-skinned guy to be hanging out in the middle of there. I think the last effective guy, if you could call it that, was Brad Daugherty. Let me tell you something. Wow. Ben Simmons playing center makes about as much sense as Joel Embiid being on a Jamaican bobsled team. That was the whole point of the joke, with absurdity. But I think he'll get his ass handed to him, Frank. If they put him at the center position, because just go through your brain of the 30 teams and think of all their big guys and the guys that they got are playing big, and you put Ben Simmons on him, he's not going to be able to compete at that position. I don't think. I think he's always played the position that benefits him the best. When you change that, now here's the thing: we said he'd been out injured because of back problems. You definitely shouldn't.
That's a good. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea to even have the conversation at all to have Ben Simmons even thought to play center, because that gives him the opportunity to get hurt and be out again for another whole season and get paid. But Ben Simmons to play center, Fig, what's your take?
I don't like it because of what Talent said. That was the first thing that came to my mind. A player that hadn't played an entire season and just had back surgery, and you're gonna put him in a center position. Now, granted, the center position today is not like it used to be. Like, nobody's really posting up. No big centers are posting up. Had it Shaquille O'Neal's and stuff like that going to the hole, and Patrick Ewing's and all of that, what have you. But still, he still got to match up with the Joel Embiid's, the Rudy Gobert's. He got to match up with a couple of big guys, and it just doesn't make sense. Maybe as a forward, but definitely not a center. I think because he's 6'10", people are trying to take a page seemingly at a Golden State book, and because Draymond Green plays center sometime, but he's not Draymond Green, and he can bring the ball up off a rebound, but still not a center position. I hate it. I hate that.
Yeah, Mike Sean. Rick Bucher also said that Kyrie Irving wants in his new contract to be guaranteed that he only plays 60 games in a season. It will not have to play any back-to-back. Since we're talking about Brooklyn and everything else, what do you think that this Kyrie Irving is going to be? This is all coming from news from Rick Bucher. Also, Rick Bucher stating that Kyrie Irving's agent says that he doesn't hate Steve Nash. So what do you think about that?
This would be Kyrie Irving's last contract in the NBA because everybody's gonna get sick of it. I think Ben Simmons, as crazy and as weird as it may sound, might be a matchup nightmare if he's healthy. The man's a young man; he's in his 20s. If he's healthy, he could be a matchup nightmare if he plays center on offense because he's not gonna have to shoot. He can take any center off the dribble, so it might be something that could be the evil genius that you think of something that you never thought, because nobody thought Magic Johnson would be able to do what he did when he played center. Not calling Ben Simmons Magic Johnson, but nobody ever thought that Magic would be able to cause that much of a problem for guys like Daryl Dawkins and everything like that couldn't cover him. Kyrie, if this is actually true, and let's preface this, I like to preface this statement with not knowing if it's true. If Kyrie really said he doesn't want to play back-to-back games and it's got all his stipulations, I promise you the NBA owners are going to make it that he's going to be on a 1-year contract from here on out. Because, dog, what else do you want from teams? Now you want to tell us when you're going to play? Now you're going to tell us you can't play back-to-backs and do all this? I love Kyrie Irving. I really have respect for him for his stance that he took against the vaccine. And I took the vaccine. But you can't do this. Like, dog, like you're making filthy amount of money. And now you want stipulations to extend your career to make some more filthy money.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get Kyrie Irving.
But Dave, I'm going to say this. If Kyrie Irving is allowed to get a contract that will state that he doesn't have to play any back-to-backs, I think it will set a horrible precedent for a lot of all-star players in this league. That's what I personally think. You're the business bully. Tell me how you think the ramifications would be literally in the NBA if all-star caliber players such as Kyrie Irving are allowed to put in their contract that they don't have to play any back-to-backs and that he wouldn't have to play more than 60 games in a season. What's your thought?
Well, Frank, I think you're 100% right. And while I do think that Kyrie Irving is a marquee player, I feel like he's a really good shot in the arm for any team. The thing that I need you to understand is this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard from this generation of snowflake, safe space. I need to process my feelings, Ian Van Zant, Babbage, nonsensical BS that I've ever heard. When are we going to get back to playing basketball, Frank? Like, isn't that your job? Don't you get paid? Mike, how much does Kyrie make?
I think the contract that he opted into is $36 million.
$36 million. Yeah.
Bro, for $36 million, not only will I play absolutely every position, I will be the best water boy. I will be the person cleaning up the stands. I'll get the popcorn out of little cup holders there, bro. I will actually sweep. I will be the ball boy. I'll be the referee, bro. Like I'll look like Bugs Bunny out on that court, bro. Yeah. Are you kidding me? See, I don't want to play any more than this many games back to back. What else you got to do, bro? You rested for a whole season while I sat up here and fought with one of my dearest friends for a year behind this, bro. No, I'm done with Kyrie, man. Y'all can keep it.
I can't disagree anymore. But let's do a rapid fire real fast. I want to get these questions up because I've been having them on my paper for the last 5 days. So I'm gonna ask each one of you guys this real fast so we get rid of the show. Get this out of the show. I'm gonna start with you, talent. Donovan Mitchell or Jimmy Butler?
Oh, nice. That was a good one.
That's a tough one right there. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jimmy Buckets.
Okay, Jimmy Butler. Okay, Fig, Brandon Ingram or Kyle Kuzma?
Brandon Ingram, all day.
Oh yeah,
Brandon Ingram all day. Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, Victor Oladipo or John Wall?
Oh,
that's easy.
I mean, it's easy, but I just haven't seen John Wall. I'm gonna say John Wall, but I haven't seen John Wall play in such a while, and I think Victor Oladipo is starting to recover from his injury. I should have said preface this, but yes, John Wall. Go ahead, John Wall.
Okay, John Wall. And business bully in their prime, Carmelo Anthony or Russell Westbrook?
Carmelo.
In their prime?
Yeah, Melo.
Yeah, absolutely. Melo all day, every day.
Melo didn't never make it to the finals.
But you talking about the player.
We're talking about skill.
You talking about the player in their prime? That's no question.
Yeah, but the thing is, I should have prefaced that by saying, not depending on where your team went. I'm just talking about prime.
The player itself, yeah.
But Melo never won an MVP.
That's why I wanted to ask.
There's a lot going on here, and I'm a Melo fan, but there's a lot going on with that. Like,
listen, can I tell you
now, wait, no, hold up. He's right, because pre-dress Westbrook is kind of dope. I will give you that, but no.
Can I tell you this? Can I tell y'all this? Russell Westbrook, other than athleticism, hasn't fallen off that much. His game was never much better than it is today, other than losing a little bit of athleticism. Carmelo could back you down. He had a mid-range, and he could shoot the three way better than Russell Westbrook.
But he never came out the West. Pause. Never came out the West. And Russell
But see,
Westbrook
but then
and his
again,
team made the finals out the West.
But that's team stuff, Mike. We talking about the player.
So MVP. So
Right,
MVP.
that's a good argument. But now you're coming out the West and all that. Here's the thing: he might have been MVP, but look at the scoring. We could put them against each other. Individual scoring numbers against each other. Melo.
But the reason why I say come out the West because Melo in his prime couldn't get out the West.
Right, but he was
Russell did.
Let me just say.
Who did Russell play for out of the West? Who did he go to the championship with?
Okay,
no, he did. He never went to the. Oh, he did. He did.
Hold on. I want to just throw this out. The reason why I asked each one of you guys this, believe it or not, all these guys I asked you, career averages are almost the same. But the players themselves, the way they play the game, is completely different. You know what I mean? That's why I compare.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, Frank. Here's what changes your question from what your statement was just now. When you look at career averages, you're looking at career averages. But when you point to the prime, when you point to the players in their prime, that changes everything.
Yeah.
I promise you, if we would have had this conversation before last year. Well,
that's
Carmelo anyway.
Because I will say this: as much as I love Carmelo, I love Carmelo. If you ask me to pick who I want on my team, I'm gonna pick Carmelo. I want Carmelo on the team. Carmelo has had some horrendous NBA playoff games.
But do you understand when you point specifically?
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, Fig. When you point specifically to the prime, it changes everything. If I go over woman house number 1, this is the first time I'm coming outside. That first sex session I'm gonna give her can't compare to woman house number 3. She catching me on the third joint. So I'm gonna be different on the third joint than on the first visit. The first lady I visit, that's my prime.
Yeah, and your keyboard won't stick. The business bully.
Yes, sir.
Tells everybody out there how to follow you, bro.
Yeah, man. On all social media platforms at The Business Bully. And follow my black ass to Caroline's August 23rd Box Seats Live. Tickets are still available, but they're selling out fast.
That's what I'm talking about. My man T talking to everybody.
That was very funny.
Yo, are you listening to Mike mumble ad-libs in the back? Listen, like the man said, the 23rd, Caroline's is the place to be. Everyone needs to be in the building. We're going to be putting it down, box seats, and then some. We're like Disney Plus, box seats plus. So come on out, check the show out. The 23rd, place to be, carolines.com. Get your tickets right now. If you need to repeat it or you need me to send you a flyer, inbox me, Instagram, Talent the Comedian.
And Mr. Disrespectful Mumbles, Mike Sean, how can we follow?
No, that was funny. That was at Mike Sean Comedy. As I'm going to repeat what everybody says, August 23rd. We're going to be at Caroline's. That's the main focus for this historical event, that we bring something to Caroline's that's never been done before. And that's very rare that you can bring something to a comedy club that has never been done before. But we're going to do that podcast and do that comedy show. And we're going to be brothers and have a good time and laugh and be super disrespectful once the comedy show starts.
I already know it's coming. It's going to be disrespectful. Fig, talk to you out there.
Yo, at Comedian Fig on social media platforms, and you can see your flyer right there for Caroline's on Broadway on the 23rd, baby. That's next week. You better be there, because if you don't, all you can do is hear about it. And Sticky Fingers and Keys will be in the building.
So,
and Frank, real quick, because I know you do all the sports questions. You're going to have to challenge us and start asking comedian questions when you do the top 4, top 5. I dare you to start, and you can't mention yourself. I dare you to start doing it.
What do you mean? Top 4?
Like
top
the
4.
Mount Rushmore comedians, or the most overrated comedians, or the most underrated. That's you, because I'm going to block my screen like this when you do it. But I already know Talent got a lot to say about this.
Talent going to be up there like, listen, first of all, half of these cats can't even shine my shoes. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now, okay? I'll bet you a Heineken and $25 that they don't want to step on the stage after me.
God. Well, thanks for Frida. I would have bet a Pepsi, but I ain't gonna bet no Pepsi. So I put me out there like that.
It's Caroline. We gotta bet calamari.
There There you go.
Calamari.
All right, y'all. We gotta get ready to roll up out of the show, or else I'm gonna have more to edit. And I ain't trying to edit that much. You know, I'm just not trying to edit a lot today. I can't do that. That's Talent. That's Dave. That's Fig. That's Mike. I'm Frank. We'll see y'all. I repeat the show. The name of the app is called The Humor Mill. The name of the show is called Box Seats. It's gonna repeat 2 more times today on social media. It's gonna also repeat again on the Humor Mill channel. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I got some great questions tomorrow. We're going to do the one-on-one, and we're going to do a couple more Mount Rushmore questions. And, of course, NFL season full underswing. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
It's sticking again. Frank!